Grand Rising peoples. That's where we at. Just turning off 4th and Wilson. Turning off 4th and Wilson, y'all. Making my way up to Luke Oil so I can do my morning walk this morning. But I wanted to play something for y'all with Ted Cruz. For those who didn't hear it, when Ted Cruz dug in your boy's ass with no Vaseline. That's a fact. That y'all hear with Ted Cruz gotta remind us about. Let's go. Goddamn train. Let's go.
Is there a crisis at our southern border? Senator, there is a very... That's a yes or no question. Is there a crisis? Senator, there's a very significant challenge. I think your microphone is not on. There is a very significant challenge that we are facing. Yes or no, is there a crisis? I believe I've addressed that question. So you're refusing to answer? Senator, there is a very significant challenge. Will you answer if there's a crisis? Therefore, we are dedicating the resources. Okay, so you're refusing to answer. Well, Secretary Mayorkas, I'll tell you someone who is willing to answer, which is you're and President Biden's chief of the Border Patrol in a sworn deposition in July of 2022 when asked, would you agree, Chief Ortiz, that the southern border is currently in crisis? Answer, yes. Notice none of those wiggle words, none of that equivocation. One word, one syllable, yes. Are you willing to speak with the same clarity as Chief Ortiz? Is there a crisis at our southern border, yes or no? Senator, I'm very proud to work alongside... Oh, you refuse to answer. Let me ask you the next question. Has the crisis at our southern border made Americans less safe, yes or no? Senator, we are dedicated to the safety. Has the crisis made Americans less safe? I don't want a discourse. It's a yes or no question. Senator, we have a challenge of... You refuse to answer the question. Mr. Secretary, let me show you how someone doing his job answers a question in a straightforward manner. Chief Ortiz, is the crisis that is currently ongoing at the southern border making the border less safe for Americans and aliens alike? Answer, yes. One word, one syllable, 3 letters. That's how someone answers a question and does their job. You're being a politician misleading the American people. Let me give you a chance again. Will you show the same integrity Chief Ortiz shows? Is the crisis at the southern border making Americans less safe? Yes or no? Senator, we have 260,000... You refuse to answer the question. Let's move on. And security of the American... Next question, Mr. Mayorkas. Has the crisis made aliens less safe? Yes or no? Senator, we are seeking... So you won't answer that question either. It's a yes or no. Has it made aliens less safe? Senator, smugglers are exploiting... Has the crisis made aliens, less safe? Are you willing to answer it? Senator, the smuggling organizations... Okay, you're filibustering again. Let me ask you this question. How many migrants have died under President Biden?
Filibustering.
Senator, your phrasing of the question is actually quite misleading. How many migrants died in 2022? Approaching our southern border? Yes. Precisely why we are seeking to... So do you know the answer? Do you know how many died? I do not. You do not. Of course you don't. I know how many died. 853.
Damn.
That is 853. And by the way, here are the numbers that have died every year. You go back to 1998, you see it's consistently between 300 and 400, 300, 400, 300, 400. Suddenly, 2021, what happens? You get in office, and that red line are dead bodies. I've been on the Rio Grande, and I've seen dead bodies floating there who've drowned because of your refusal to do your job. You don't even know how many have died. What do you say to the Texas farmers and ranchers who find pregnant ladies dead on their property, who find toddlers dead on their property? What do you say to them? I say that is why, precisely, we are taking it to the smuggling organization. But you are not. That is simply not true. Number 2, it is why let me read from the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal 2 weeks ago ran an article entitled, "It's like a graveyard. Record numbers of migrants are dying."
You are now.
Quote, Eagle Pass, Texas. Local officials keep a refrigerated truck to hold the bodies of migrants
Damn.
who drown in the currents of the
Yeah, I
Rio
remember that
Grande
on the news.
while trying to cross the border into the...
Y'all remember they found that 18-wheeler with all them migrants inside the back of it? I remember that. I most definitely remember that. Let's go. Let's continue.
U.S. Mr. Chairman, I ask unanimous consent that this article be entered into the record. Let me ask you a different question. How many children have been sexually assaulted by human traffickers
Listen,
under the
y'all,
Biden
real
administration?
Senator, this is precisely why we instituted...
I don't want a lecture. It's a question. How many children have been sexually assaulted by human traffickers under your administration?
Senator, this is exactly why
Dude,
on
they had
January
to sleep
5th,
this
we
morning.
announced
Again,
the parole
do you know how many? Do you know how many children have been sexually assaulted?
This is why we...
Yeah, you're going to refuse to answer that question as well. Let's move
Yeah,
on.
that
It's
bitch knocked
obvious
out,
you've been
yeah.
instructed to stonewall. So I'm not going to let you. You don't get to stonewall and filibuster. Now, one of my Democratic colleagues before said the Democrat talking point, quote, "This problem didn't start under Biden." Look, I get if you're a partisan spinner, you got to figure out something to say about the absolute catastrophe that has played out under the Biden administration. True or false, Secretary Mayorkas, 2020 was the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years. Is that true or false?
They still working on
It
the
is
ground.
certainly the lowest level of immigration in many, many years. And what was it?
Okay, fine.
2020. What was it, Senator, in 2020 that impacted the entire world, including the United States?
Okay, so your testimony is the reason we had the lowest rate was COVID. It had nothing to do with building the wall, nothing to do with any catch and release, nothing to do
Get him,
with remitting
Ted.
Mexico. With all respect, Mr. Secretary, that answer is laughable. And in fact, if you look
Get him,
at
get
illegal
him, Ted.
immigration, let's look at CBP encounters. You can see 500,000, 500,000, it drops to the lowest level, and boom, what happens? You show up. And that red line is you. That red line is Joe Biden. And you're claiming nothing happened. Oh gosh, this was here before us. No, you made the decision to allow this to happen. Let me ask you, we now have over 5.5 million people who've entered this country illegally under Joe Biden. How many murderers have you released into America?
Senator, I'm not aware of any murderer whom we've...
So you don't know?
Senator, let me say
You
something.
filibuster.
Do you know?
If you take a look at...
No, you don't get to give a speech. Do
That's
you know
right.
how many murderers you've released?
I'm just trying to answer your question.
How many rapists
Senator.
have you released?
Senator, I'm
Do
trying
you
to
know?
answer your question.
You can answer, I know or I don't know.
Senator, any individual who poses a public safety
Hold on, y'all.
threat-
How many child molesters?
Good morning, my friend. How you doing this morning? Can I get 10 of them? Yes. You about to get off? You about to get off in a little bit? Yeah. I told him a couple days ago. He said I was only 10 minutes late. I said it's unacceptable. All right, thank you, my friend. All right. I'm gonna go this way.
Any individual who poses a public safety threat...
How many child
is
molesters have you
detained
released?
and removed into the United States, from the United States.
Oh, so your testimony under oath, subject to perjury, is that you have not released any murderers, rapists, or child molesters among the 5.5 million? Is that your testimony?
Mr. Chairman, may I have the opportunity?
No, you
No.
may not. You may answer my
Been
question.
filibustering ever since he been
Is
asking
that
me
your
questions.
testimony, yes or no?
Senator, you're not allowing me to answer your
I am allowing you to answer. I'm not allowing you to filibuster.
If you
Facts.
take a look at the pace of immigration in 2018 to 2019,
You're refusing to answer. Let's move on. Let's move on to gotaways. Gotaways are the people that get away that you know about. Now, what happened under your administration? Gotaways consistently down at this low line. Boom, you get in. And they go from below 180,000 to
We're in the trenches, y'all.
600,000. Now, I'll tell you this about
I'm
a
down here in the
gotaway.
trenches.
You don't know. Among those 600,000 a year, you have no idea how many are murderers, correct?
that is precisely why the
Correct?
Negro got
Do
away.
you know how many of those are murderers?
That is precisely
So you
why.
refuse to answer the question. You know how many are rapists? Do you know how many are rapists? This is a question. You're a lawyer. You know how to answer questions. Of the 600,000, do you know how many of them were rapists?
Senator, this is why we
So again,
are-
the
Roger,
answer is
Senator.
no. Let me ask you this. Do you know how many of them are terrorists? And I don't want to, Senator, here's my lecture on this. Do you know how many of the 600,000 gotaways were terrorists? Yes or no?
Senator, we are
Got through.
focused on the
You refuse to answer that as well.
Right here, yeah. We got through, y'all.
What's the result of massive gotaways? Well, one of the results is drug overdoses.
Facts.
And we now have last
That's where they
year
hiding the trucks
over
at.
100,000.
That's where they parking the trucks at. That's working on the roads, the streets. Right here. But we just came through this little cut right here, y'all. That took us up to Luke Oil, but we went all the way around. We came up Highland Avenue. Now we know the fence right there. We can slip right through the fence on them. Let's go. Let's continue. Ted Cruz. Wake his motherfucking ass up. Get at his ass, Ted.
And overdoses who died, the majority from Chinese fentanyl streaming across the border.
I know a few people that
you
died
told
from
Senator
fentanyl.
Gordon you care, but look what has happened under your policy. When
That's
you
a fact.
open up the border to the worst illegal immigration in our nation's history, people
Facts.
die.
Facts.
You claim you care. Mr. Secretary, that is a lie. You know, some months ago, Karine Jean-Pierre stood up at a White House briefing and said, people are not just walking across the border.
He's running across the
Was she
border.
telling the truth?
Naked.
Senator, you are
Was she telling the truth?
profoundly disrespecting.
Was she telling
No,
the
he's
truth?
not.
2 years.
Okay,
of
you
kicking
get,
facts
you
that you
get
can't
to answer
answer.
questions. You don't get to give
Is he
speeches.
filibustering?
I served as a federal prosecutor.
All right, you're refusing
Who
to answer.
cares?
If you look at, she was
We
lying.
ain't talking about
And she
that.
was not lying on her own. She was lying on behalf
Talking
of the
about
President
right
of the
now.
United States. Now, the
Millie Mouth
photograph, people.
motherfucker.
Walking. She was lying on behalf of the President of the United States. This is a photograph from just one day along the Rio Grande of hundreds of thousands of people walking across the border. You
Yep.
have allowed this to happen. The photograph that was before. Wow. What are these wristbands?
Yup.
I don't know what they are.
You don't know what they are.
See, it's a
Mr.
distraction.
Secretary, you just testified to the American people you're incompetent at your job. Because I've been to the southern border, and if you go to the southern border, along the southern border, you see thousands of these wristbands because the illegal immigrants wear them. The drug cartels, every color corresponds to how many thousands of dollars they owe the cartels. You've turned these cartels into multi-billion-dollar criminal organizations, and these are modern-day leg irons because these are
Facts.
children being sold into sex slavery, and you
Sex
don't even know what
slaves.
they are. That is astonishing.
Kids, y'all.
Mr. Secretary, how
Being
many
sold
children
into
have been
sex
sold into
slaves.
sex slavery under your administration?
Senator, we are taking it to
get to
the
that.
How many children have been sold into sex slavery?
That's why they're trying to distract y'all with the Donald Trump situation.
Mr. Secretary, I want to say to you right now, your behavior is disgraceful, and the deaths, the children assaulted, the children raped, they are at your feet, and if you had integrity, you would resign. And I will tell you, the men and women of the Border Patrol, they've never had a political leader undermine them. They despise you, Mr. Secretary, because you're willing to let children be raped to follow political orders. This is a crisis, it's a disgrace, and you won't even admit this human tragedy is a crisis.
Wow.
Minute Chairman time. Mr. Secretary, would you like to respond to any of those questions?
What the senator said was
No, no, no,
revolting.
sir.
I'm not going to address it.
Look.
In 1 minute Chairman time. Mr. Secretary, would you like to
Bitch
respond
ass
to any of those
motherfucker.
questions?
What the senator said was revolting. I'm not going to address it.
Get at him, Ted.
You're refusal to do your job is revolting.
Facts. Facts. So I wanted to play that for y'all to let y'all know what the big distraction was when they came up with these fake ass charges on Donald Trump to keep y'all once again blind, bamboozled, and hoodwinked about the real situation that's going on in the real world. Y'all, I keep telling y'all that these house Negroes, it's sad, man. It's sad to say it, y'all, but these leaders, so-called leaders, y'all, are sellouts, y'all. Just like in the past. The past history, we knew who the sellouts was during the 60s. And we damn sure know who the sellouts are now, y'all. So what the past have to do with the future, ain't nothing changed. Still the same goddamn game going on. Just different players, that's all. You know what I mean? You got these motherfuckers worrying about some Donald Trump before they worry about kids being trafficking and sold into sex slaves, babies. And then y'all wonder why most of these kids pop up missing. You see what I'm saying? But this ain't nothing new under the sun, y'all. This ain't nothing new under who? Sunrise. It's been going on, y'all, for decades with these pervert ass motherfuckers. And that's a fact, y'all. That's a fact. If we do the survey on perverts, y'all, it'd be shocking, y'all. The results would be shocking. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these, like I said, puppeticians, that's what they do, y'all. They into that sex slavery shit. They into all that shit, y'all. Cheating on their wives and shit. Getting their dick sucked in the White House. Or whatever house it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But they want y'all to turn a blind eye to that. Over what's more serious? And I hear a lot of y'all say y'all don't support pedophilia. You know what I'm saying? But this administration allow these kids to be sold into sex slaves, y'all, that they not talking about. I told y'all it's a big picture going on. They want to give y'all some bullshit and want to have y'all jumping out the window, calling Donald Trump a racist, when these motherfuckers are trafficking babies for sex slaves, y'all. Come on, y'all. Damn, I thought y'all was all for the babies. The babies was the future. You know what I'm saying? The kids are the future. But most of y'all turning y'all back to a blind eye because of this bullshit with this administration. What they had done to the peoples. You know what I mean? This been going on for years, y'all. You heard Ted Cruz. But then y'all say y'all all for. Y'all not for motherfucking pedophilia. But yet y'all clapping and buck dancing and tap dancing over some fake shit once again. Come on, y'all. Why ain't y'all hear the fake ass president and fake ass vice president speak on Donald Trump charges, y'all? Because they know they fake. They don't want to put their signature on some fake shit. They rather have the slaves on the plantation put their signature on some bullshit. And that's just what been happening, y'all. This Biden administration surrounded himself with slaves from the plantation in every corner. Even the speaker, I call her little Aunt your mama. Forgot to talk about your little Aunt your mama ass yesterday. But the speaker that comes out and give y'all a brief every day of what's going on, she don't never know shit. You know what I'm saying? She's a puppet. She's a motherfucking puppet. All of them are puppets, y'all. It's just you got puppets and you got slave puppets. You know what I'm saying? And the Biden administration surrounded himself with motherfucking slave puppets that go out that motherfucking tap dance and buck dance around all the questions. You know what I'm saying? And give y'all some rhetoric. But like I said, people, y'all gotta wake up. Y'all gotta stop going for the bullshit. Y'all can see it. It's playing out. I just played a fucking video of Ted Cruz going in on one of the Biden administrators, y'all. The motherfucker that opened up the borders. That's who that was. That's who they drilling at the Capitol. He in the hot seat right now. He can't give y'all answers on simple, basic questions. He filibuster. You know what I'm saying? He filibuster around a goddamn question. And that's what Ted Cruz was talking about. Give me a yes or no. Left or right, up or down. Nothing in between. You know what I'm saying? But they brainwashing y'all. They fooling y'all. The TV is a tool. I told y'all. The TV is a tool that they using now to fucking crucify Donald Trump. Come on, y'all, pay attention, y'all. Jesus was crucified, y'all. Jesus was crucified. It was a whole goddamn city against Jesus. A whole town against Jesus. They crucified him. What are they doing to Donald Trump? Y'all pay attention, y'all. They crucifying him. They rather crucify a man that was for the American people than hoodwink y'all with these babies being sold into sex slaves, y'all. And all these migrants that cross the border. They don't even know how many rapists, murderers that they let cross the border. They can't even give y'all a number. But this is what's going on in our country, y'all. This is what y'all wanted. And this is what they want to keep y'all thinking with the foolishness and the brainwashing tool of the television. And like I said, that television, y'all, throw that bitch out the window. Wrap that bitch up and throw it out the window, y'all. Because that's a tool to brainwash the American people. Anything they say on TV, black folks run out and do. Just like they just said it was a little spill in the Delaware River, black folks went out and brought gallons of water, gallons upon gallons of water that they not gonna even use. They don't even talk about the spill no more. And if it was a spill, right, because they warned us, you niggas forgot all about it and you still drinking the same fucking tap water and bathing in the same goddamn tap water. The same way they bamboozled y'all with the jab. They had y'all run out in droves and line up for some fake shit that they don't even know what's in the ingredient. Grand Rising, King. Grand Rising this morning, King. I'm keeping my foot on their neck, King, that's all. This morning, keeping my foot on their neck. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no goddamn prisoners. You know what I'm saying? We going in straight guillotine. You know what I mean? I got the guillotine flying around, pulling heads off and shit. You know what I mean, King? I say, King. I say your legacy live on, King. Trust me. Trust and believe, King. Them same Negroes that sabotaged your thing you had going on, these Negroes still around. They still around buck dancing and tap dancing. And getting on their knees and shit every now and then. You know what I mean, King? Every now and then they get down on their knees. You know what I'm saying? And give Mr. Charlie what he want. You know what I mean? And Mr. Charlie used no Vaseline on some of these house slave plantation Negroes. Boot-licking ass niggas. Bamboozled ass. Buckwheat-looking niggas. That don't know if they coming or going. That hate their self. Hate. In the African American community, they hate their self. Look how the females dress. Not all of them. I say, King. I'm pissed off right now. Look how half of these African American women dress. They hate their self. Fucking wigs and shit. Back in the day, you have a wig on, motherfucker, you get clowned like a motherfucker and shit. Old ladies used to wear wigs and shit in church. Now these young girls ain't even fucking. Some of them ain't even fucking 18 and running around here with grandma wigs and shit on, y'all. Shit is sad, y'all. Shit is sad. Most of these females, they make their self up so they can go to Barnum and Bailey Circus, right? They dress their self up in all this foolishness so they can get ready to go to the Barnum and Bailey Circus and punch their time card in, right? It's a shame, but I ain't here to bash my people. I try to wake them up. Some of them don't want to be woke up. So at this point, I'm a motherfucking warrior. A one-man army. I'm gonna keep my foot on your neck. And every now and then, I'm gonna pull that guillotine out and pull your fucking head off your shoulders with the truth. And that's a fact. Turn on the TV and shit, you see our motherfucking sisters looking like buffoons, man. What happened to the happy because I'm nappy? What happened to the afros, the afro puffs? What happened to this generation of people lost in Babylon? Lost in Babylon. The Bible said it's going to be a lost people in Babylon. And I see who it is. It's the African American community. They lost. They blind. They sleepwalking. They in a deep coma. And some of them don't want to admit it. I'm here to free your mind and remind you I can free you if you want to be free. But if you want to constantly be a slave, go ahead. It's your choice. Like slavery was a choice, right? And it's your choice if you want to constantly be a slave. You know what I mean? Slavery was a choice. And I talked about that already, right? We talked about that. And it's 100% fact. Now they got these, once again, the Pope young boys in Baltimore, they molested over 100 kids, y'all. Y'all say y'all for the babies and the kids because they the future, but y'all turn a blind eye to the fucking facts of people disrespecting our babies and using our babies for some type of porn. It's a big ass cat right there. Joker fat, husky. But yeah, y'all turn a blind eye to that. Y'all say y'all against pedophilia, but y'all support these players that's in the game. That's why I can't take you people serious no more, man. I can't take you people serious, man. Y'all turn a blind eye to certain shit and let the other bullshit walk. You know what I'm saying? But this don't get no news coverage. They rather cover a man that was for the American people. Put the American people first. But I know these charges ain't gonna stick. Donald Trump, hang in there, my man. Stay strong, Trump. That's a fact. Stay strong, Trump. I know you're a warrior. You know? Just like they crucified Jesus. That's what they doing to you, Trump. They got a smear campaign going on. And they smearing your name. Right? They trying to turn the peoples against you. To make it seem that you this type of Adolf Hitler motherfucker, which you ain't. When you had them fights in Atlantic City at the Trump Mahal, it was asses in every seat, majority African Americans, to come see the fights in Atlantic City. Now, and all of a sudden, you went from opening up your doors to letting fights go on in your establishment to Adolf Hitler, and everybody can't stand you now. Because of who? the television, one, programming tool, and the enemy, the same motherfuckers that crucified Jesus, are amongst us today. And look what they doing to Trump. Crucifying, they trying to crucify him. You know, he carrying a cross through the goddamn country, and they bashing him for some rhetoric foolishness. With that being said, until the next time, stand on your square. I love you all. Put the Most High first, and everything is going to be everything. Trump, stay strong, King. Salute.